Invitation starting. Honorary
Honorable Vice Chancellor, August Chief Guests, esteemed guests of honor, eminent speakers, reverend principals, respected faculty of various colleges, distinguished delegates, and their friends, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all in the International Conference, Role of Life Sciences in 2047, jointly organized by Totani College of Arts and Science, KCG, in association with Botanical Advanced Association, Gujarat. Tolani College of Arts and Science is an institution of higher education focused on humanistic, social, and creative disciplines, providing holistic education which fosters critical thinking, cultural understanding, and self-reliance. The college, established in 1962, has a legacy of more than 5 decades, grown with modest setup in today, and today fosters to large number of students. And we are extremely proud to say the college has been 3 times NAC accredited, leaving an indelible mark in the field of education on the map of Kutch. It is a tradition that every auspicious ceremony is commenced with lamp lighting. Lamp lighting symbolizes brightness, prosperity, positivity. In the spiritual world, light means life. May I entreat all the dignitaries to come forward for lamp lighting. Say. Words of wisdom with their song. May I request all our esteemed guests to please come on dais. May I request Dr. Mohan Patel, Vice Chancellor of Kashmir University, Shri Anirudh Vikram Singh, General Manager of IFCO, Shri Kedar Kangar, Managing Director of Inaugural, Dr. Rajesh Aswani, Administrator of GPD, Dr. Naveen Patel, President of BAR, Dr. Sushil Dharmani, Principal of Tulani College of Arts and Science, Dr. Kalpesh Soratia, IQSC Head, may I call upon Dr. Sushil Dharmani, Principal of Tulani College of Arts and Science, to deliver welcome speech.
नमस्कार, सुप्रभात। उपस्थित मंचस्थ महानुभाव, श्रोतागण, दर्शकगण एवं अन्य सब जो आज विशेषतः हमारे आह्वान पर आज उपस्थित हुए हैं। सबसे पहले यह कहते हुए हार्दिक खुशी हो रही है कि पिछले संपन्न हुई संगोष्ठी में मैंने आप लोगों को वादा किया था कि हम नेशनल के बाद इंटरनेशनल भी करेंगे, और आज आप सब उसके साक्षात विटनेस हैं। हम सब लोग बड़े भाग्यशाली हैं, भारत के उस दौर से गुजर रहे हैं जब हमें कहा जाता है 2047 में क्या, और उसी ही स्वप्न को साकार करने का एक प्रयास हमारा यह कार्यक्रम है। ये इंटरनेशनल साइंस सेमिनार है जिसमें ऑनलाइन ऑफलाइन केवल 610 लोग जुड़े हैं। प्रश्न ये उठता है कि इन संगोष्ठियों को हम सफलता बना सकते हैं जब मंचस्थ उस स्टेक होल्डर्स के भाग हो। इसीलिए हमने हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी के स्वप्न दृष्टा वाइस चांसलर डॉक्टर मोहन पटेल सर को विनती की, जिन्हें ये श्रेय जाता है कि हमारे यूनिवर्सिटी को नेट अपग्रेड करवाएं और साथ ही साथ हमारे यूनिवर्सिटी को उस अंतरराष्ट्रीय ऊंचाइयों तक ले जाए जिस के स्वप्न हम सब लोग देख रहे हैं। यह शहर अगर देखा जाए तो 3 ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के बिना है ही नहीं, कुछ भी नहीं। एक हमारा पहले कांडला पोर्ट ट्रस्ट हुआ करता था जो DPA हो गया, एक इसको जो संपूर्ण राष्ट्रों में हरित क्रांति ला रहा है, और DPA और डिस्को को साथ लेकर चलने और इंडस्ट्री। ये हमारा वह भाग्य रहा कि नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस में जहां हमारे साथ DPA और SRC जुड़े थे, आज इंटरनेशनल में इसको ने हमारा साथ दिया है। और आज इसको के जनरल मैनेजर अनिरुद्ध विक्रम सिंह जी हमारे बीच उपस्थित हैं, हम उनका स्वागत करते हैं। हम आज उनसे भी सुनना चाहेंगे कि हमसे उन्हें क्या आशा है। और जैसा मैंने कहा कि सबसे कठिन काम अगर कोई हो तो कोऑर्डिनेशन का, जो बात भी गांधीधाम चैम्बर ऑफ कॉमर्स कर रहे हैं, उनके नई नवनियुक्त प्रेसिडेंट तेजाभाई कांगड़ हमारे बीच उपस्थित हैं, लेकिन उनका धन्यवाद करने से पहले मैं हमारे महेश सिरखान जी का धन्यवाद करूंगा, जो हर बार हमें इंडस्ट्री के साथ जोड़े रहते हैं। आज का जो विषय आप देख रहे हैं, इंटरनेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस ऑन रोल ऑफ लाइफ साइंस विजन इंडिया, ये लाइफ साइंस शब्द मात्र है, लेकिन उसके पीछे का जीवन क्या। हम नॉर्मली कहते हैं जल है तो जीवन है, जहां ग्रीनरी है, और इसीलिए इस ग्रीनरी के पीछे का जो कॉन्सेप्ट है, बॉटनिकल एसोसिएशन के ऐसे हमारे नरेंद्र पटेल जी आज हमारे उपस्थित हैं। लेकिन हम सब लोगों की नकेल में कसने वाले गांधीधाम कॉलेज बोर्ड के एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर राजेंद्र आसवानी जी हमारे बीच है। मैं केवल शाब्दिक रूप से अपने हृदय के भाव से उनका स्वागत करता हूं, लेकिन हमें अच्छा तब लगेगा जब ये मंचस्थ लोग हमें ये बतलाएं कि अब आगे हम लोगों का रोल क्या है, और इस जो सारे के सारे कॉन्फ्रेंस को साकार करने के लिए जो मेहनत मेरे टीम ने की है, उसका मैं एडवांस में धन्यवाद कर दूं। आप सब बच्चों का मैं एडवांस में धन्यवाद कर दूं, जिन्होंने एक बार पुनः हम में विश्वास रखकर आज उपस्थित रहे हैं। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, sir, for your address. We are blessed today with the gracious presence of our chief guest, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Kranti Guru Shanti Krishna Brahmakacha University, Dr. Mohan Patel. May I request Dr. Raju Dasani, Administrator of GCB, to honor his kind presence. Thank you, sir. We are immensely privileged to have with us guest of honor, Senior General Manager of IFCO, Mr. Anirudh Vikram Singh. May I request Principal of Kolkata College of Arts and Science, Dr. Kushi Ramani, to honor his benign presence. Thank you, sir. We are immensely glad to have with us guest of honor, Shri Kedabai Kangar, President of Chamber of Commerce. May I request IPC Head Dr. Kalpit Sauraja to honor him. We are immensely privileged to have with us Dr. Naresh Patel, President of Botanical Advanced Association, Gujarat. May I request Dr. Ritesh Chande, Head of Microbiology Department, to honor him. Thank you, sir. The role of life sciences has emerged in all aspects, and we wish to see it differently, how it will affect humanity and bring changes in the coming future. So is our theme of today's International Conference. May I request Dr. Kalpit Sauraja, IQAC Head, to throw light on this theme of International Conference.
Hello. Good morning, everybody. all the guests present on the dais, guests present off the dais, all dear faculty members and my junior friends. Today I have given for the opportunity to explain the purpose of this conference, why this or this type of conferences are organized by the Educational Institute. The main theme, the title of conference is Role of Life Science in Regional India 2047. So everybody knows in the year 2047, we are going to complete 100 years of our independence. And our goal, goal of nation, the goal of India is to become a Viksit Bharat in or till the 2047. So what is the role of life science, particularly the life science and the various branches of life science to achieve this goal? So main areas, or we can say the purpose of this, if you want to achieve the goal, we have to create a technology, a skilled workforce. And who are our workforce? So today's students who are studying in undergraduate, graduate, postgraduate, our research students and faculty. This is a mass together going to lead this country in the field of life. For UG students, they don't know anything about the future, about the technology, the latest technology, what is happening during this time and what will happen in the future in the field of life science. So this type of workshop, this type of international conferences, which includes the participants from the Gujarat state to various states of India and international. We have different participants from different countries, from Canada, from UK, Russia, and major states of India, and the maximum participants we have from the Gujarat. We have organized this conference in hybrid mode. So the students and faculty from remote areas who cannot attend this type of conference physically, they can get an opportunity to participate in this type of conference and get benefit of expert faculties of the world. If we talk about this area, this place, Adipur, why Adipur, why Gujarat, or why Kutch? So this is a remote district, remote area of our country. अगर कहीं से भी किसी को यहाँ पे आना है तो वो बहुत डिफिकल्ट होती है including the expert faculties. If we contact expert faculties from Delhi, Bangalore, Kolkata, any big and major places, then they try to refuse to come physically. So our student cannot get an expertise views and about the technologies from those faculties. So we have organized this for our students and the students of remote areas so they can get benefit. क्या होगा? तो यहाँ we have the expert faculties from Russia, from Bangalore, Rajkot, and Porbandar. Here the sharing of knowledge will take place. Experts will deliver their lectures, whatever they have done during the course of their educational or academic timings, so students can get benefit of their expertise. Our aim is Vision 2040.
अगर आज के बच्चे उनको फ्यूचर टेक्नोलॉजी के बारे में, फ्यूचर ट्रेंड्स के बारे में, फ्यूचर में होने वाले रिसर्च के बारे में नहीं पता है, तो इंडिया लाइफ साइंस में वर्ल्ड को कैसे लीड कर सकता है? यही सोच के ये कॉन्फ्रेंस ऑर्गेनाइज की गई है। आपको सबको पता होगा, वी नो अबाउट द कोरोना टाइम। कोरोना टाइम में इंडिया वाज द वन ऑफ लीडर in vaccination, in production of vaccination among the world. So we are leading in some fields of life science, but we want to lead in all the area of life science, and that's what we have organized this conference. Secondly, we have invited the chair GM of INFO, which is the organization mainly concerned with biological science or life science, dealing with agricultural science, which is a part of life science. We have invited Area Tanagar, Nalindam Center of Commerce and Industries. He is from industry. Without collaboration of academia, research and industry, we cannot go ahead. So we have also selected the days from the fields of life science. Here, due to constraint of time, I will not speak very long because there are many more things to do to tell you about the conference. But few future areas, I will list it out. Biotechnology, including all types of technology. Here this time, CRISPR is the most advanced. Then bioeconomy. Everybody knows, everybody listens, everybody reads about the sustainable development. The development without harming nature. Health and biomedical sciences. If we are fit, then we can work. So health and biomedical sciences is an important area. Then vaccination and pandemic. We know about corona and we realize, we felt the effects of corona. So in the field of vaccination, India can lead. Then agricultural biotechnology. Here we have GM of IFCO and we heard about re-coated urea. It was, I think, initiated by IFCO only. So agricultural biotechnology in which we can produce new type of plants which can the production of those plants or crops are more with minimum harms. Then genomics and AI, artificial intelligence. We are from life science, but we should not forget about the role of AI. We can use AI in our field to aid work to fasten our work. Ayush and traditional medicines. The government of India has already started a whole department called Ayush. And the second is traditional medicine. My friends from pharmaceutical industry, they know about the medicine. But for your kind information, here I would like to add majority of medicine, the concept of those compounds is taken from the traditional medicine. For example, a neem plant. A medicine for a fever is basically inspired from the neem plant. Then innovation and startup. Here comes the role of younger students. Government of India and government of Gujarat also started number of innovative structures. Students can take an advantage, take an opportunity to grab those innovative institutions. Then lastly comes the bioethics and regulations. We want to develop. We want to become a number one. We want to become a Viksit Bharat. We want to become a Vishwaguru Bharat. But here comes the main thing is ethics. If we do not follow the ethics, the direction of development may mislead. So here I have discussed some glimpse area of life sciences in which we can lead the world, we can help our India, our nation to become a Viksit Bharat. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Truly said, such international conferences will foster innovations at group level. Now, the most proudly moment of any international conference, the Journal of Abstract Papers will be released. I request all the dignitaries to unveil the abstract book. I request all the members of the dais to unveil the book as a part of this ceremony. The abstract papers of this international conference are published here. I suppose every participant will be happy and glad to see his papers, his thoughts in this book. And his new book will be provided later on. And we are very proud to say that today's our international conference is live on YouTube channel as TCS Principal. This international conference is live on YouTube channel. The QR of this abstract book has been put in below. All of you can see it. Thank you all the dignitaries. A team leader not only shows the way, but also leads with example. And Tonani campus is fortunate to have Mr. Rajesh Raswani as administrator of Gandhidham College at home. He's an inspiration for all of us. May I request is to bless this occasion with his inspiring words.
Very good morning to all of you. Dignitaries on the dais, especially our Vice Chancellor of Kutch University, General Manager INFO, President Gandham Chamber of Commerce, and other dignitaries, faculties, and dear students. It gives me immense pleasure to be part of this conference and makes us feel proud that our college is able to organize this kind of conferences which are not only national but international level, where international people are participating in this kind of conferences. And I would like to compliment Principal Dr. Sushil Dharmani and coordinator of this program, Dr. Kalpesh Bhatia, for having put on this wonderful show. There could be a lot to speak on this platform, but since there are so many dignitaries here who will be sharing their knowledge and information with us, I would not like to take any more time and wish you all the very best, especially compliments to the entire team of Solani College of Arts and Science for having put up a wonderful show. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We are privileged with the gracious presence of Senior General Manager of IFCO, Mr. Aminu Vikram Singh. He has been associated with IFCO from last 3 decades. His extensive expertise in projects, plants commissioning, and maintenance of complex fertilizer facilities. Prior to his current role, he served as the head of plant vigilance, leading major projects and equipment revamp that will significantly enhance plant performance. He also contributes as an external expert to other organizations. May I call upon Shri Inaugural Vikram Singh to address the gathering.
A very good morning to all and everyone present here. Respected dignitaries on the dais, and faculties, scholars, my dear sisters and brothers. I feel honored to speak in this prestigious occasion when such a forth-looking topic of life sciences role in Viksit Bharat. First thing, how we see Viksit Bharat. When we are going to complete 100 years of our independence, how we see Viksit Bharat. We see it as a self-reliant uh, and innovative, healthy, and global leader. These all how we achieve. What is the main ingredient for this? The main ingredient, of course, the public health. The public health is most important. When everybody is healthy, then we can say we are developed. And how? And we are having a population of 140 crores. How can we say that we can make all people healthy in such environment, in such a diverse environment? This is possible only when we have a knowledge. We have knowledge to face all the challenges. Main challenges are there, environment challenges. Climate changes are there. When world is also looking forward increasing population, and at the same time, the food self-sustainability is important. When we can we give food to everybody after 2047? From traditional farming, it is not possible. We cannot give food by traditional farming. We have to innovate. For this, IFCO has already taken many initiatives to ensure food sustainability, environment, soil health. As you know, one product, nano urea, nano DAP, nano zinc, nano copper, we have already developed, and field trials were taken. What were happening earlier when Harit Kranti came, then fertilizer was the boon of the society. Now, what is happening? Urea is mostly used by the farmers because urea is cheap. But what we want? In urea, nitrogen is more. We make our soil nitrogen rich. Where the nitrogen is not required, then also farmers are putting because they have the feeling that it will grow the crops and everything. Because they don't have that much knowledge. IFCO is putting hard efforts to make them know about the effects of using balanced fertilizers, balanced chemical fertilizers. Now the time has come when we have to switch over from the chemical fertilizers to biofertilizers to some innovative fertilizers which will not harm the soil and which will not harm the plant. And at the same time, it would increase the productivity. So the nano is one of the solutions because nano is not going into the soil; it is on the leaf, and through stomata, the nutrients are going inside the plant. And what happening earlier? Farmers sowing like this fertilizer like this. How much part of fertilizer is going to the root? We can say only 30%, 35%. But in nano, we can ensure 80% of the fertilizer is going inside the plant. But this knowledge is important and it takes time. We have enough time up to 2047 and such conferences would definitely help people to innovate and to give better results to the society. Now, the life sciences ensures healthy India, food security, agricultural innovations, and at the same time environmental sustainability, economic development, and many more things which are ingredients to Viksit Bharat. And IFCO is also doing much efforts to make it happen. And as I was asked how I expect from you people as a IFCO, we expect you to join hands with the producers of the medicines, of the fertilizers, developments in especially, as you told, genomics. Genomics is different from genetics as I know. Genomics is study of collective genes. Genetics is a study of one gene. I may be right or wrong, you may correct, but because I am mechanical engineer, as I think, genomics, once we study, the thing I want to say that once we study the complete thing, what is affecting the body for getting a disease, for plant to get a disease, if you research in that way, we have to go into the depth. And such conferences would help in understanding the depth of the things which processes are happening inside. And in future, such knowledges would definitely shape India to grow in a much better way and to achieve its mission of Viksit Bharat. And my best wishes to all of you to gain maximum knowledge from this forum. And I would like that such forums will happen more frequently in different parts up to 2047 to make it happen. And thanks to all for honoring me at this platform. I am thankful, and this is a great, but I will not take much time. And thank you all and best wishes for success of this program, grand success. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words. And definitely students will achieve something as the galaxy of intellectuals have gathered here. We are privileged with the gracious presence of Mr. Tejas Munkari Angad, Managing Director of Inaugural Group of Companies and President of Chamber of Commerce and Industries, President of Kandapur, President of Contractor Association, founder of Giant Group of Kaliram, which makes him travel overseas a lot, and member of many more associations. He is also associated with health and welfare environment, Save Animal, and blood donation and eye camps. He is active social worker, not only at local level, but also at state level. He is also active participant in the Kutch Rural District Cricket Association. May I call upon him to address the gathering?
स्टेट पे बैठे हुए सभी महानुभाव, पार्टिसिपेंट, फैकल्टी और स्टूडेंट, आज अपन देख रहे हैं कि ये जैसे विकसित देश 2047 जैसे साइंस के मेन रोल है और अपना उद्योग, हम लोग तो उद्योग से है, लेकिन उद्योग में भी आज 247 के अंदर अपन क्या क्या चेंज कर सकते हैं। जैसे मेरे से पहले बताया कि क्लाइमेट, आज अपन देख रहे हैं कि क्लाइमेट में कितना चेंज आ रहा है और कितना जरूरी है कि अपन आगे इसके लिए क्या क्या कर सके, रिसर्च करें और भी ये कॉन्फ्रेंस में क्या क्या कर सकते हैं उसके लिए आगे भी सब बताएंगे। ऐसे ही अपन जैसे ग्रीन एनर्जी, अपन इधर लोकल आज देख रहे हैं कि भाई ग्रीन एनर्जी के लिए कच्छ के अंदर काफी स्कोप और काफी चेंज कर रहे हैं और सिर्फ अपन अपना एनवायरमेंट के रिलेटेड है। आज अपन देख रहे हैं कि दीनदयाल कोर्ट ने रिसेंटली अभी ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन का इनोवेशन किया है और आज अपन अपना फ्यूचर इधर लोकल लेवल में ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन होके ऐसे बता रहे हैं कि लाखों करोड़ों रुपए का इन्वेस्टमेंट आएगा और अपना हाइड्रोजन हब बनेगा कच्छ में। तो अपने कच्छ के लिए बहुत खुशी की बात है कि हर चीज में कच्छ आगे है। अपन देख रहे हैं कि कितने सालों से, और अभी रिसेंटली अपन ने देखा है कि डीपी वर्क भी आ रहा है सूड़ा में। डीपी वर्क की वजह से आज अपना हर चीज के अंदर अपना कॉम्प्लेक्स डेवलप हो रहा है और कच्छ में डेवलपमेंट हो रहा है। हम तो और आगे कुछ सभी बताया, आगे भी बताएंगे, लेकिन इतना जरूर बताएंगे कि हम लोग उद्योग से जुड़े हुए हैं और स्टूडेंट के लिए हमने रिसेंटली हमने स्टार्टअप का हेल्प डेस्क किया, तो स्टूडेंटों को खास उनके लिए कभी भी कुछ भी हो तो गांधीधाम चैम्बर ऑफ कॉमर्स में विजिट करें, हमारे हेल्प डेस्क है और यूजफुल रहेगा। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, sir. So we wish to see in 2047 how Gandhidham will deliver in collaboration with industry and education. We are blessed to say with the gracious presence of Dr. Narendra Patel, President of BAR. May I invite him to acknowledge us with his words of wisdom.
A very warm and great good morning to all of you. It is indeed a matter of immense pride and privilege for me as the President of the Portugal Advanced Association Gujarat to welcome you all to this prestigious international conference on role of life sciences in Vision India 2047. It is not just a government slogan. It is a national commitment. It is a promise that when India completes 100 years of independence, it will be stand strong scientifically, economically, and environmentally. Today is not just the inauguration of the conference. Today is the ignition of a collective scientist mission. As India moves toward completing 100 years of independence in 2047, the vision is not merely economic growth, but sustainable, inclusive, and knowledge-driven development. Life sciences play a foundational role in setting this vision for Viksit Bharat 2047. Botanical Advanced Association Gujarat has always aimed to promote botanical research in Gujarat, encourage and empower young botanists, encourage scientific temperament, connect academic institutions, support conservation initiatives, provide platform for knowledge dissemination, and so conference like this, we strengthen our academic network and collectively contribute to the nation development goal. To the student and young researcher, dream is big, think boldly, research responsibly, and do not confine yourself to degree and designations, but aim for discover the solve real problem. Let your curiosity today become India's strengthen. Before I conclude, I extend my heartfelt thanks to the management and IPSC of the Tolani College of Arts and Science, the dedicated team of Solani College of Arts and Science, the sponsor, especially KCG and all other organization members. Let this conference ignite new collaboration, inspire innovative research, and strengthen our collectivity commitment toward building a scientifically empowered and environmental sustainable India by 2047. With this word, I declare to all of participants best of luck and best wishes. And thank you for coming here, joining in a wide numbers of students. I think approximately 610 participants present here in a hybrid forum. Not only from India, but worldwide. It is a live conference. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for your motivation. And students, the limit is sky. Don't consider yourself that whatever you have, see the limit should be sky. Thank you, sir, for your motivation. We are blessed today with the eminent presence of our chief guest, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Kranti Guru Shyamji Krishna Verma, Kutch University, whose leadership and vast academic experience are a source of inspiration to all of us. Prior, he served as principal of N.S. Patel Arts College, Anand, Dean Faculty of Arts, Syndicate member of Sardar Bai University. He has contributed significantly to academic literature and research. He has also authored many books and publications which indicate his broad academic contribution in economics, education, human resource, environment, and sustainable development. We are proud to say that Kutch University was NET accredited for the first time under his leadership with grade B+. He has also been recipient of various awards like Best Educationist, Man of the Year, Leading Professional of the World, IBC Cambridge by IBC Cambridge, England, and Eminent Economist by Global Economic Forum. He has published 28 research papers and has given 320 speeches. With great respect, I humbly request you to kindly address the gathering and share your valuable motivational words with audience.
Namaskar and very good morning to all of you. Respected guests on the dais and off the dais. Esteemed participants and my dear students. It is my distinct honor to be a part of this prestigious international conference organized by the Solani College of Arts and Science. As we gather, we are not only discussing science for today, but also looking ahead towards the national mission of Viksit Bharat 2047. The theme of this conference, the role of life sciences in Vision India 2047, is not just an academic title. It is a roadmap for our survival, our sustainability, and our global leadership. As India marches towards the centenary of its independence, the ideal of a developed nation is being redefined. It is no longer limited to industrial growth. It is now includes bioeconomy, sustainable living, and ecological intelligence as central pillars of progress. By bringing together academicians, researchers, policymakers, industry experts, and young minds, this conference becomes a powerful platform where ideas can move from laboratories to policies and from classroom to communities. It's focused on interdisciplinary dialogue, academia industry partnerships, and inspiring students aligns perfectly with the vision of Viksit Bharat, where knowledge drives both economic growth and social inclusion. As the Vice Chancellor of Kranti Guru Shamdi Krishna Verma Kutch University, which serves the entire Kutch region, I must emphasize that organizing the international level event here is not just appropriate, it is visionary. This conference acquires a special meaning because it takes place in Kutch, and one of India's most ecological and cultural diverse regions. The unique combination of arid and coastal ecosystems, grasslands, saline deserts, and rich cultural traditions offer unparalleled opportunities for research in ecology, climate resilience, and sustainable developments. From the Bunny grasslands to the run of Kutch, from coastal mangroves to arid agriculture, this region provides natural field laboratories for studying biodiversity, environmental stress, disease ecology, and adaptation strategy in plants, animals, and microbes. The same landscape that hosts the globally known Ran Utsav, showcasing art, music, crafts, and tourism, also poses serious questions about water security, land degradation, and climate change, making it an ideal site for integrating science with policy and community development. Kutch is not merely a district, it is a living laboratory of life sciences, earth sciences, and several other disciplines. When we speak of botany and zoology, we just have to look around us. Kutch holds some of the most diverse ecosystems in Gujarat, from the seasonal wetlands of the Great Run to the grasslands of Bunny to the rich mangroves along our coast. Our region is home to resilient flora that can thrive in high salinity and harsh conditions, and to unique fauna such as the Kharai Canal, camel, and the Great Indian Bustard. For a life science researchers, Kutch offers a frontline view of adaptation. A key trait we must build into our crops and production system if we are to ensure food security and to hit the 2047. In microbiology, the white run is a hotspot for extrapolic microbes that survive in very high salt conditions. Research on such microorganisms can lead to breakthroughs in industrial biotechnology, novel enzymes, bioactive compounds, and applications that strengthen the blue economy and bio-based industries. In each sciences, in earth sciences, Kutch has preserved rich geodiversity and offers immense potential for advanced research in geosciences, ranging from rare earth elements and renewable energy prospects to hydrocarbons, seismology, and disaster risk reduction, and many more aspects. In pharmaceutical sciences, we must remember that Gujarat is already known as the pharmacy of India. The future wave of drugs and therapeutics can emerge from marine biotechnology and medical plants of arid and semi-arid regions. But has the potential to become a cradle of such phytopharmaceutical discoveries. Kranti Guru Shamdi Krishna Verma Kutch University is proud to be associated with this initiative and to serve as the affiliated University of Tolani College of Arts and Science as only public university dedicated specially to this region. Our mandate is not only to confirm degrees, but also to nurture research ecosystems that respond to the unique need and strength of Kutch. Through our affiliated colleges and our departments in life sciences, earth sciences, environmental studies, and allied fields, we strive to foster interdisciplinary research, promote field-based learning, and encourage community engagement in areas such as climate adaptation, disaster preparedness, water resource management, and sustainable livelihoods. Conferences like this reinforce our commitment to become a hub where local realities and global science meet, and where students from rural to remote backgrounds find pathways into advanced research, innovation, and entrepreneurship. These sessions to be delivered by distinguished speakers and the papers to be presented by various participants will definitely bring the forward new ideas on how life sciences can play a decisive role in achieving the vision of Viksit Bharat 2047. I am confident that discussions during this conference will open windows of new research, collaboration, new research problems, skill development, intellectual property rights, startup, and innovations opportunity among the young scientists present here. Many of you sitting in this hall today will be active scientists, policymakers, entrepreneurs, and educators in 2047. And you will be not only witness Viksit Bharat, but also you have to shape the India 2047. Dear students and research scholars, present here, you are the architects of this Viksit Bharat 2047, whether you are presenting a poster or delivering an oral presentation on any theme of this conference. Remember that your work must translate science from the lab to the land. Your research should not end with publication. It should also touch the lives of patients, industries, and communities. In conclusion, Vision India 2047 will be realized when we truly master the science of life in all the dimensions. It will be realized when we ensure food and nutritional energy through agriculture biotechnology, when we can manage our waste and pollution through bioremediation and green technology, and we can understand and protect our planet through integrated Earth system science. I congratulate Tolani College of Arts and Science and the entire organizing team for curating such a comprehensive and timely scientific event. I look forward to the meaningful recommendation and future initiative that will emerge from these deliberations. I wish this international conference will be the great success. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your enlightening words and motivation and blessings to this conference. We are immensely proud today to be blessed by our president and chief patron of this international conference, Dr. Sujata Nair. May I call upon Mr. Rajendra Aswani, sir, to convey her message.
Prince, as you were informed that this conference is live on YouTube, and we conveyed the link to our chairperson, Dr. Sujata Naik, and she is watching live this program, even making comments about how it is going on and things like that. Besides, I also wanted to share with you a few thoughts about how Gandhidham Collegiate Board looks at development of their colleges. Sir, I would like to just inform you, we are on the way of working on as to how do we provide skills to these students. And in order to do that, we are getting a lot of support from the board authorities, IFCO, Gandhidham Chamber of Commerce, who has always been supportive to us, whenever we are approached them for any financial support or any, meeting them for any other purposes, they have always been with us. And you would be aware, yesterday was Gandhidham Day, and in that program, it was so heartening to see that all the, government agencies who are connected to the development of Gandhidham Kandla complex, everybody extended their full support for the development of this township. And as you know, this Gandhidham has become Nagarpalika. The responsibility on the authorities have also increased. and we can see so much of development going around. In order to be able to be, ready to face the challenge, especially for the students. We know the, AI, what is happening in AI platform, robotics, blockchain management. So many things are happening around. And if you as students don't keep yourself abreast with what's happening around globally, today we can't talk of only Gandhidham or Adipur or Kandla or Gujarat or even India. We have to, see what's happening globally. And I'm sure today's youth is, with the availability of the social media, is aware as to what is happening globally. So in order to be able to face the future challenges, we look forward to seeing our students keeping themselves ready for the future challenges in life. And especially once again, I would like to thank all the organizations who are supporting us in our endeavor to see how we can develop these skills. Our students, especially the DPA, that is the Deen Dayal Port Authorities, Gandhidham Chamber of Commerce, IFCO, SRC, Gandhidham Municipality as such, and even the police department. All the local organizations have been very, very supportive of the holistic development of Gandhidham, and more so have always been supportive to us. And on behalf of Gandhidham Collegiate Board, I would like to extend our sincere thanks to all the authorities in and around Gandhidham, including the Vice Chancellor with us here, for having spared his valuable time to be with us on this occasion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. May I now call upon Dr. Ritesh Karneri, Microbiology Head, to propose vote of thanks.
Namaste. Honorable Chief Guest, distinguished guest of honor, delegates and friends. As we conclude this inauguration session, I stand to offer a heartfelt thank you to visionaries who have made this international gathering possible. We heartily thankful to our Chief Guest, Dr. Mohan Patel, Vice Chancellor, KSK University. Sir, your academic leadership is our North Star. Thank you for your constant mentorship and for gracing us with your presence today. We are equally honored by our distinguished guest of honor, Sri Anil Vikramji, Manager of IFCO, for your bridging to gap between industry and academia. Sri Tejabai Kandar, Director of Wilton Group, for his steadfast support to our regional growth. Sri Rajendra Swami, Administrator of the GCD, for his visionary support to our institute. Dr. Narendra Patel, President, Botanical Advanced Association of Gujarat, for his presence and professional leadership. We are sincerely thankful to our Principal, Dr. Sushil Dharmani, IPSC Director, Dr. Kalpesh Sorakia. Your leadership at our college has been the driving force behind this event. To our delegates, thank you for bringing your global expertise to this forum. Finally, the organizing team and student volunteers, thank you for tireless work. I wish you all productive and inspiring conference. Thank you.
Thank you so much, all the dignitaries, for your gracious presence. Now we will begin the technical session. Very good. I would like to request all the participants who have taken accommodation here, please contact Dr. Sanjeev Jani sir to pay the bills. Otherwise, they will not receive their certificates. I request all the participants who have taken accommodation here to please contact Dr. Sanjeev Jani to pay the bills. Now may I request Dr. Kalpesh Sauratia, IPC Head, to introduce our first speaker. To introduce our first speaker, Dr. Vishnu Patel, who will be connected with us online.
Yes, good morning, sir. Hello, sir. Good morning.
Here we are waiting for the connection. Our keynote speaker, Dr. Vishnu Rajput, is joining from Russia.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Very good morning.
Now, here on our side, we are ready.
Yeah, greetings from Southern Federal University, Russia. Am I audible and visual? I hope everything is okay.
Are you audible, sir?
Yeah. How about my voice? Is everything okay? Can you hear me? Can you see?
Yes, yes, yes. We are hearing you and we are seeing you.
Okay, thank you.
Sir.
Good morning, all the participants, and good morning to Dr. Vishnu Rajput. Yeah, I am giving a duty to introduce Dr. Vishnu Rajput, and our keynote speaker, Dr. Vishnu Rajput, is joining us from the Russia. Dr. Vishnu D. Rajput is the principal scientist H2S, Head International Lab of Nanobiotechnology, Southern Federal University, Russia. As a recommendation, I would like to inform all the students, researchers, and faculty members that the question of Dr. Vishnu Rajput is 19,876 plus. The achievement of Dr. Vishnu Rajput is handling BRICS project priority 2030 bioengineering of the rhizosphere. He has papers with 73H index. He is included in the list of 2% world's potential scientists prepared by Stanford University and secured 9th rank in biological sciences. He is serving as highly qualified specialized Russian Federation and obtained 2 ranks in environmental and environmental science. So he is among the world top 2 scientists. We, on the behalf of IPSC Kulani Arts and Science College, warmly welcome Dr. Vishnu Rajput. Sir, now you can start your keynote speaker.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind introduction and a lot of things you said in my short introduction. So I'm really appreciate, and it's my honor to be here in front of such a nice audience. I can see by camera and their appreciations. Thank you so much. So namaskar, greetings from Southern Federal
Dr.
University,
Vishnu
Russia.
Rajput, sir.
Hello, sir. Just a minute.
Yeah,
Because
please.
of your
Sir, your voice is not loud, so we are arranging for that. Please
Okay.
hold on for a moment.
Okay, sir.
ऑडियो की नामा भरा ऊपर से Yes, sir. Please.
Okay, so
Yeah, perfect, sir.
yeah, can you see my slides also? Is my slide visible? Is my slides are visible? I cannot hear voice. Maybe everything is okay from my side.
Yes, sir. It is perfectly visible and audible.
Okay, so I will proceed. So once again, thank you everybody, and thank you organizing committee for inviting me. So greetings from Southern Federal University. I'm working here last 10 years and I am head of nanobiotechnology. So we have long work on nanotechnology for sustainable agriculture and soil science. This is a federal university. So we have only one department here which dealing for the environmental and soil health management. So my talk will be about how to restore soil health in a sustainable way and how we can increase or we can change our approaches for sustainability, for sustainable agriculture. So as we know, even in India, I will give little overview about comparison of both countries' situation, especially for soil and agriculture. Like I am working here in south part of Russia, so these two big states are completely for agriculture. So mostly we are growing wheat, barley, and also of course some fruits in this area south part, because climate is somehow suitable for agriculture. But now today or last 2 days it was like minus 15 20, so winter is very cold, but we have like winter wheat we are growing here. What is important thing in this part of Russia, the soil is really rich in organic matter, so called, like you can see some places the organic matter is more than 4%, 4 to 6%. But same time, if you or if we see the national average of Indian soils, especially for the organic matter, then it comes below 1%. So like we are suffering or we are facing problem of decreasing organic matter. Why organic matter is important? We all know that the organic matter play a role for soil fertility and productivity. So that's why I give a little overview. But what about the soil health? So if we see just after green revolution in India in the 60s decades, so immediately we started to use chemical inputs. Of course, you many of you know very well the situation, but still there are some young researchers I have seen in the audience. So I will try to emphasize the how the situation of the soil, like 7 8 decades we are continuously using various type of chemical based fertilizers, pesticides, emerging pollutants coming to the soil. So like we the plant cannot utilize all the fertilizers or chemicals which you input to the soil, so there are remains. This remains continuously accumulating in the soil system and disturbing agricultural microbiome, like agriculturally important microorganism. These organism which playing role for helping plant to uptake nutrient from the soil and biodegradation or decomposition. So now the situation is the national average of the soil have very low microbial community or functionality. If we left the soil of forest soil, so like agricultural soil really suffering with the functionality of microorganism. Even here in Russian Federation, we have some uh, power plants or some another setups which emitting pollutants to the soil system. Of course not as much as, because the population density is not that high, so situation completely different. Again, the abrupt changes in climatic factors, like suddenly high temperature, low temperature, or submergence, or some another environmental factors. So plants are not adoptable. They cannot immediately adopt due new this abrupt change of climatic factors, especially for the soil microorganisms. Mostly we are focusing on crop, because being a farmer or industrialist, we are focusing okay how we can produce the food and we focusing, but what is going under or inside the soil we usually don't care. So the day will come very soon when soil will say, oh, I cannot produce anything without additional input. Even now situation, how much fertilizers you are using, you are receiving, but without fertilizer you might not able to grow. So like these are the challenges which global agriculture or Indian agriculture is facing. Another challenge, we need a sustainable safe food to achieve zero hunger goal, like to feed everybody. But the rapidly growing population, same time decreasing agricultural area, and also degradation of the soil, also effect on soil health. These are the factor which we have to resolve. Same time, agriculture also facing like drought stress, salinity stress. So many countries before near, I think in 2007 to 2009, I was working in Central Soil Salinity Research Institute, Karnal, Haryana, and we observed that how big area is saline. Of course, in Gujarat, I am sure there are patches which have high salts. So this salinity, secondary salinization, these are the issues. In Russia, we have very little part, this completely south near to Black Sea, but not as much. But we're still focusing some materials we are developing for reclamation of these salts, especially using emerging materials. I will discuss further. Another challenge which current generation or current agriculture facing, like emerging contaminants. What is the emerging contaminants? Even we don't know before. Nanomaterial which we are using directly, indirectly in various sectors, including cosmetics, automobiles. Of course, in agriculture, there are some products already in the field in Indian agriculture. So, nanomaterial also considered as a emerging pollutants because of its size and reactivity, and we don't know biogeotransformation or environmental fate for longer extent. Microplastic, nanoplastic. We know before that plastic is dangerous, but we don't know this is dangerous as much as now scientific community concerning, because this plastic converting into micro and then converting into nanoplastic, like very tiny size, which can go to the body and have a lot of health issues. So the and another very new contaminants, so-called PFAS. So these PFAS are also alarming, and very few technologies are available to detect in real situation. So these are the challenges which our agriculture and soils are facing. How about, but we are lucky that we have some approaches, not only I can say in the agriculture, like a multidisciplinary approaches, because a lot of disciplines working for sustainable agriculture. So we can say nanotechnology, as I told, is a problem, and at the same time we have positive impact. But a lot of emerging materials, biochar, nanobiochar, composites, metal organic frameworks. But again, the materials are not new. Biochar we are using last several years. It's a nothing. Just you take a agriculture trash, pyrolyzed on the high temperature, and you receive biochar. Very simple. Similarly for nanomaterial, any kind of material, no matter metal, organic, inorganic substances, just reduce the size within the or between 1 to 100 meter, you receive nanomaterial. It have new reactivity, new uh, chemical properties. So this all beneficiary. But what is new now, because we are able to modify the functionality, characteristics, smart delivery of these materials with the help of physics, core chemical technologies, with the help of microbiological technology, with the help of CRISPR or genome editing tools. So this all we are combining together to develop a material which can be a sustainable, low cost, eco-friendly, not have long-term any impact, negative impact. So for that, as I told, last 10 years, I'm working on nanomaterials behavior, how it behave in soil system and plants. So let's go to see. Of course, it was very necessary when we have started this work, because most of the scientists, they were focusing on synthesis by different routes. the different methodology, different substances they are taking and producing nanomaterial. Of course, with the different characteristics of these materials. So these materials playing a crucial role in various industries. But what about environmental risk? How it behave inside the plant body, plant tissues, how it affect microbial community. So we have started these experiments in various system, in hydroponic system, in soil system, in real condition, in field condition. We given this material to the industries also, agricultural industries, those growing crops here. So but not only nanomaterial, we have taken various sizes with comparison with bulk material, metallic nanoparticle, carbon dots. So we taken like many materials and comparing and trying to standardize. So with the very beginning, it was for us to know whether this material accumulate inside the tissue. If accumulate, then what is the form and which organelles it accumulating. So usually we are doing in lab condition like distractive method. We taken some leaves and grind it, put it in a acid and then burn and go for the atomic absorption. This is a common phenomena in each lab we are doing. But we did based on the spectroscopy, spectrogram, TEM, and also fluorescence based XNAS, and also synchrotron radiation technology we apply to see and track the nanomaterial. We flatten the leaf and we scan. So XNAS we use for this, and some physiological parameters we have also used. Like very beginning, you see this is the normal root having a good number of root hairs, but in the same time in pollution all the root hairs disappear when we apply nanomaterial. So it indicate, because we know the root hairs are at most important for the plant to uptake nutrient from the soil. So here like plant facing challenges. Again, here in the second part, you can see that the photosynthetic part, we know that in the leaf there are stomata which uh, helping plant to enhance the photosynthetic and also exchanging the gas. So here you see the deformation of the stomata were observed. So main part for the photosynthetic, number of stomata, number of and also deformation were noted. And this method we have developed here in our lab, so-called video registration method. We can see, we can tell this plant suffering with the stress, like any plant growing in any condition. If not grow well, we can say. But this our technology, so-called chlorophyll fluorescence, based on the video registration method, it can quickly state the condition of the plant under stress conditions. So we compare our results with the automatic PAM machine also. Like ordinary condition, whenever any kind of stress, no matter drought, salinity, as I told, or pollutant stress, plant try to cope up. First, try to activate the defense mechanism, like number of enzymes they try to develop or decrease to fight with the stress. So here it was also the same. When we enhance the concentration of nanomaterial as a pollutant, then the plant develop several enzymes which we studied here, like number of enzymes, also some genes we have studied. But of course we know this fact, it's not new, because we know if plant suffering with the stress, they try to activate the defense system with the enzymes, biochemicals, physiological activities, also morphological characteristics they have. There are changes. But because of mechanistic understanding how the material behave, how the plant behave under the pollution condition, So we study this thoroughly, including all the enzymes, also some genes, and this work published in large number of environmental journals, internationally reputed journals. So information was like, here you can see that some enzymes decrease, increase, the similar trend like other stresses. Again, after this, we go more inside into the plant cellular, subcellular level. Like in the very beginning, you can see here is a vascular bundles. We all know during our primary, secondary education how the xylem, phloem is important for the plant. They are transferring or translocating, transporting the water and nutrient from the soil to upper part for photosynthetic activities. But here you see the in the stress condition, very soiled size vascular bundles. Even the number of vascular bundles decrease because of pollutants. Similar situation happen at subcellular level of leaves, like disorganization of cells were noted. But inside the more detail, like subcellular organelles, so-called mitochondria, nucleus, plastid, chloroplast, grana, starch granules, number of subcellular organelles, they were also affected. But our main target was this photosynthetic part. Because if you see in my previous slide, in this slide, here, if you see in this slide, I have or we have noted number of nanomaterials, they reach to the upper part and they accumulate in subcellular membrane of leaves. It was for us information that we wanted to design this nanomaterial as like a smart delivery nanomaterial. We don't want this material expressed in this part. We want, like, if we need some crops vegetation part, so this material only expressed in vegetation part. Some crops is needed as a root because root part is useful or edible part, so we wanted this material expressed in particular part to have effective and efficient utilization of nanomaterial. We develop these materials also. We have a special smart material center who is working on all this our requirement. So this accumulation was also challenging, because if this material accumulating at subcellular level and because of its size, tiny size, so it can be very dangerous for human health. So we'll come to again on this part of chloroplast. So here you see one side is very normal, everything is organized, even the starch granules, plastoglobulins, and but another side you can see the bulky or big size of starch granules, because plant not able to utilize, they synthesize but not utilizing because of stress of the pollutant. Also disorganization of the structure of the chloroplast, also disorganization of mitochondria and nucleus inside, leucoplast. So after this, our mechanistic understanding of the behavior of nanomaterial on plant tissues, we have planned some ordinary experiment. Why I'm saying ordinary? Because in every lab or every researcher, they usually doing the taking a treatment and some combinations. Of course, it's also predictable that there will be some changes, some differences compared to control, because you are using several variant. So same we have did here also. We taken 5 different treatments polluted with the nanomaterial. So we try a bacterial consortium as well as biochar. So the biochar we have synthesized. I hosted one project. I was leader of this project, so-called BRICS project. It was on biochar pyrolysis, especially from the food waste agricultural material, urban food waste material. So we have collected huge amount of this material, pyrolyzed, prepared biochar, characterized this biochar, how it can be useful for the agriculture. So this standardization process we developed, and we of course published also that what is the pyrolysis temperature. Pyrolysis means, maybe some of the students they need to know that because biochar we are preparing under no oxygen or very less oxygen condition, like anoxic condition, like you are putting a very big setup which create and which can tolerate high temperature. So like 1 minute, 10 minute, 11 minute on the 400 to 800 degree Celsius. So between this we usually pyrolyzing. So what is the best temperature, what is the best holding time for these materials? We have developed this technology. And also the microorganism, we have not here used only just ordinary or any microbes. We have screened these microorganisms. We isolated these microbes from the polluted side, especially cadmium, nickel, and chromium contamination. So this commonly in our region, we screened, we found some stains are very tolerant. They can tolerate pollutants. So in the beginning, it was like using as a remediation. But in this study, where we given pollutants also in the soil system, we given microbes and also biochar. So even the control which have pollutants, you can see when we applied biochar and bacteria together, so this consortium given us an opportunity to grow plants in polluted condition where nothing can grow or it's problem or it can accumulate. So like this combination alleviate the toxicity and not allowing pollutants to reach upper part of the plant. So why? Because biochar is a porous material. It have porosity and it's a very good habitat for microorganism. So this is one purpose we are applying biochar in soil, like giving good habitat to microorganisms. Even accumulation was less in the upper part of plant. So again, like several years, this experiment we have taken, some results we have already published, but some experiment is still going on. Because we wanted to see if nanomaterial in the soil, what will be the biogeotransformation or aging effects. Like first year we applied nanomaterial, we applied high concentration, then grow second year, all time we given the soil we more optimum moisture to not stop the functionality of microorganism. So like 5 year 6 year almost completed, and we every year monitoring the microbial functionality and growing plants. So like if something remain in your soil from the nanomaterial, how long it can be dangerous and what will be the fate for long term. So here in the second year, we found the functionality of microorganism enhanced by twice even. In this study, we have also observed these subcellular level analysis, and we go on for the cytomorphometric characteristics of the findings. Of course, we go for the molecular biology, also some genes we have track and also physiology, biochemical. But here I wanted to show only this last variant you see. we cannot see disorganization of subcellular organelles, including chloroplast. So like this combination is not only effective for the remediation purpose to stabilize the pollutant in soil system, but it also helping to grow plant in any polluted or degraded soil. So we have fabricated, of course, the high quality biochar, different sizes of biochar from the agricultural wastage, wheat, seabed sludge, and different biochar. Here, this technology we have published, we have what is the exact situation or conditions should be for the biochar. You can see here in our like different temperature have different structure. So our target is like this, like here you see the polluted and then we grow this similar like cycle. But in biochar, the most important is its surface area. Of course, each scientist or each applications have specific preparation of biochar. Like we are using biochar for remediation purpose. Like polluted soil, we wanted to stabilize or absorb the biochar, and that's why we wanted to biochar which have high or large surface area. So you can see in our study they like specific surface area. But if, because some of my work also devoted where we are enriching biochar with a nutrient, because we wanted to put it in a soil as a fertilizer. So this is another aspect. But we are working for remediation of the pollutants from the soil system. So different conditions giving different structure and different surface sizes of biochar. In this slide, we integrated microbes and biochar together. So you can see it is a good association. This is something new, very new, because the last year the Nobel Prize goes for the metal organic research. We are also working on this aspect last several years. So we developing this metal organic framework and combining with biochar. So metal organic framework, which in our lab we modified, because of course this technology also standardized. We are not chemists, we are agriculturalists. So we wanted to modify this material, how it can be useful for our purposes. So here you see that also we found very high or large surface area of this mill-100 combination, so-called composite material. This is a porous material, porous and very big surface area. So this larger surface area giving an opportunity to absorb pollutants in the soil condition. Of course, this material is quite expensive, but it not need in a ton to apply. It's need very little amount can be more effective. So this combination is really promising. Very, very simple methodology to synthesize. You can see here. Also, this metal organic framework giving an opportunity to edit or to control even the nutrient release or hormones. Like you see, this is a just organic framework. You understand, it's simply a framework. So in this framework, you can input whatever you want. Maybe your soil deficit in cadmium or iron, you can input and try to make it like slow release fertilizer. So similarly here, we have added some hormones. This work, we are just started to modify the metal organic framework for hormonal control, like modulating hormones. So how it could be I shown here. It is a environmental resilient also, because it's like engineering. You can engineer how you want. We have also developed. No, we all know that in soil there are heavy metals, but we focus only rhizosporic heavy metals, pollutants. So we are the first who created the online database, so-called e-library, for fractionation of these pollutants. If someone from soil science or chemistry, they will know how these metals have fractionations or spectra in the soil system. So if anybody want to, they can access our these results based on the synchrotron radiation system, XNAS so-called. So all elements we have also analyzed, and we made a library. Also, we study like micro structure of highly polluted soil. So these structures giving us the more insight about soil bindings of these materials. Why it is important, I will tell right now. Also, this is our oblast. It's called Rostov-on-Don. It's a very popular river. This river name is Don River. So the city is near to Don River. So that's why the city name is Rostov-on-Don. So we collected microbes from different parts. We gone for the metagenomic analysis to understand how this our oblast area. So this analysis we did with the help of Moscow Genomic Center. So our target was like nano bioengineering of rhizosphere. I'm head of this project. Now second year we are working on. This is a priority project from the Russian Federation, from the president of Russia. So we wanted to grow plants or vegetation in Kalmykia region, one of the big region of Russian Federation. This is like a barren land, and the government try to grow vegetation here. So in this, you see, we created artificial system. No, rhizosporic you can see here. Like this is plant, and this area we try to focus. We analyzing the dynamics of contaminant nearby this, how the morphometric and ultrastructural changes. As previously I showed that we have what is the molecular genetic analysis of the rhizosporic system. So we use several frontier technologies like genomic, synchrotron. Of course, I am not expert for all these technology, but in this project we have taken different expert, those working on genome editing. We have taken a core microbiologist for the microbiome and metabolism techniques, but the target is to reveal this association of the root, plant and soil with the modification of biochar, nanobiochar, metal organic framework and nanomaterial. We are continuously monitoring the activities using neutron tomography in the artificial system. So the second year we have more results, but of course the project not completed. We don't know wholesome story. So probably next year we will be able to know. So coming to the conclusion that in my expertise and experience, based on the biochar research, nanomaterial research, we are still not ready to give this material for the larger extent. There are several reasons, like we cannot abruptly use any kind of biochar in any soil. Why? You understand from my presentation that I said that we using biochar for remediation purpose, but maybe you wanted to use biochar as a fertilizer. If in that case, maybe your biochar may absorb the nutrients which already in the soil. So it can be problem. Also, this is a stable carbon material. So long-term impact is still not revealed. So each purposes need specific modifications in the biochar. If you want to apply biochar in saline soil, you have to tune that the salts can be absorbed. If you want to use biochar in like a zinc enriched biochar, so you need modification. Similarly for the nanomaterial, there are products, but you see situation in India, how the products become a controversial product. Farmers do not want, because we do not have the exact standardization based on the location, climatic condition, soil type, crop type. You cannot generalize these materials for whole agriculture. Because in nanomaterial, the biggest challenge aggregation, biggest challenge how it can be more sustainable, biogenic material, also production. Because larger scale is still becoming challenge to reduce the cost. So all these materials which we are working, we are continuously trying to standardize to make more resilient, more eco-friendly and low cost, of course. But recently, like MOF, metal organic frameworks, we are trying to combine elements for slow release fertilizers. So I really appreciate your patience for listening me. There are large number of books I have published on the biochar, nanobiochar, also omics technologies, which is a trending now. You can read. You can also join our university as a researcher, as a student, or any slot like visiting scientist. So once again, thank you to organizing committee for giving an opportunity to deliver our talk. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Vishnu Rathod, for sharing your expertise with our students and emerging scientists and faculty members. So your immense work in nanobiotechnology and biochar definitely helps the world. For our participants, we heard about the green revolution, but during the green revolution, mainly chemical fertilizers were used, and which are harmful for our environment. And we all know about the cancer pain from Punjab to Rajasthan. So during green revolution, due to the harmful effect of chemical fertilizers, the number of cancer cases increases. And in function of that, as Dr. Vishnu Rathod said, the use of eco-friendly fertilizers and in preparation of eco-friendly fertilizers, the use of microorganisms, the use of the latest technology like nanotechnology, it has immense in sustainable fertilizer, the organic fertilizer. So think about the technology, the process. But we should keep in mind about the economy. As sir said, it is eco-friendly, but it is necessary to reduce the cost. So definitely, sir, our students will try to work in this field. And definitely, sir, we will take your help, your expertise as and when needed. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Will be one of the question. Hello, sir. So I have a question. So can you say about which type of nanoparticles can be useful for the control the hormones, for hormonal release?
Okay, you discuss performance. बस जी क्वेश्चन
Sorry, there was some issues from my side. I cannot see and hear. So now, if there are any queries, questions, I will happy to answer.
Sir, I have a question. So can you suggest some name of nanoparticles can be useful to control the hormone release? The type of nanoparticles.
Sir, can you suggest some name of nanoparticles can be useful for hormone control?
Yeah, nanoparticle for hormone control in plants. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes, because we can modulate nanomaterial. As I told, we need smart delivery nanomaterial. The material which we can express or we can like specific purpose. So if we wanted to modulate hormones, we can use the nanomaterial. Now I don't have experience on modulation of hormones, especially using nanomaterial, but for metal organic frameworks we have just started that we wanted to slow release or modulate this system using metal organic framework. But there are possibilities because there are researches associated with our colleagues. They are working on modulation of the plant hormones using nanomaterial, but it need specific characteristics of the nanomaterial, like a specific nanomaterial. So I cannot hear again anything from your side.
Yes, thank you very much, sir. One more questions from our students, please.
Good morning, sir. If we are using microbial consortium in the soil, then how can we study or observe their effect on the microbes which are already present in that particular area?
Yeah, actually, it's not also very easy to introduce any microorganism to any soil system. Of course, there are indigenous microbes. So firstly, we try to focus on the indigenous microbes, and first we standardize this system in lab condition. In lab condition, especially like taking artificial soil or soil, and then if the approach is completely standardized, then we go for the field condition where we know that there are deficit microbes, but there are technologies so-called DDG. So by that we can understand that either our microbes are effectively working in the soil system or not. But the adaptability of the new atmosphere of any microorganism is the challenge. So a lot of standardization is required before introducing. Like if you know the trichoderma, different biofertilizer, it's not one day research that you using in the field condition, because in certain situation we have like nano selenium microbes which we synthesize in the legume plants. But in this where I'm living in south part of Russia, the consortium is effective, but in the Siberian part, another side of Russia, the same consortium is not giving any results. We have effectiveness of like 27% resources we can save, but in another part not. So because all the factors you have to consider, even the soil conditions, because if there are some suppress organism which can suppress your organism, So, but of course, there are technology like DDZ, molecular approaches. By that, you can detect. Also, if you don't want to too expensive approach, you can just take a total microorganism approach, which I showed in my presentation also, and it's easy to understand uh, periodically. So I hope I responded, and thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir, for
Thank
your
you so much.
valuable and informative lectures. Our students, faculties, and research scholars 100% beneficial for that. Thank you. Thank you once
Thank you
again,
so
sir.
much. Thank you. Have a great time. Thank you. Best wishes for great success. Thank you so much.
We'll now proceed for a short tea break. Hello. Hello. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, we all proceed for a short tea break now. And please try to come back sharp at 12 so that we can start the next session.
Bluetooth connected with direct audio, that's it. That was
I request all the participants to take their seat in the hall. We are going to start our next session.
Introduction.
As we begin with our next session, I request Dr. Mahesh Ojha to welcome and introduce our next speaker, Dr. Bhupendra C. Jadeja.
समझो ठीक है समझ गए हाँ पर ओके
So in this session, now we will lecture by a very learned and scholar person, Dr. B.A. Jadeja sir. Dr. Jadeja sir is from the birthplace of Mahatma Gandhi, Porbandar state. And for any educator, he should be a lifelong learner. And सभी को रक्षा Dr. Jadeja sir का है. See, he started his journey of education with gold medals at BSc and MSc level. He was university first at BSc and MSc level. He completed his BSc in 1989 and last degree he received his of Doctor of Science DSc in 2024. So I say that we have a person who is a lifelong learner. Still, he is learning and doing much in his field. Dr. Jadeja has a wide experience of teaching and research. He has a teaching experience of 35 years at UG level and has 10 years teaching experience at UG level. Since the last 35 years, Dr. Jadeja sir is engaged in various research regarding life science. Dr. Jadeja has guided 20 students for PhD and 4 more students are under PhD in his guidance. In this long journey of learning and research, Dr. Jadeja has so many achievements. He is a fellow of Society of Botanists. He is fellow of Society of Life Science Leaflet. He is fellow of International Society of Science and Technology. Fellow of the Linnean Society of London. Excellence in Research Award by Asian Educational Leadership and has achieved award of Distinguished Researcher Award by Scientific Florence. And so many publications He worked as a editorial board member. He's a editorial board member of Plant Archives, Journal of Plant Development Science, and Life Science Publication. So this type of a learned and scholar faculty is here to deliver a lecture. Let us start our journey of this conference of this session with Dr. Jadeja sir. I request him to deliver his lecture. Welcome.
Sir, for giving opportunity to talk to young generation. Our Prime Minister, since long, shows a great vision of India, the developed India, or Atmanirbhar Bharat. Today, I give you a pathway. Is sustainable India by 2047 possible without? I said, due to a person about me, Kaplan as an architect of sustainable India by 2047. मैं आपको जर्नी कराऊंगा कि प्लान कैसे 2047 के अंदर भारत का सस्टेनेबल इंडिया का जो विजन 2007 विजन है उसमें कंट्रीब्यूट करेगा और आर्किटेक्चर की तरह रोल प्ले करेगा. Can we see when we speak about the vision India 2047? The imagination naturally gets towards the skyscrapers, advanced technology. We envision a nation powered by steel that builds our bridges, the silicon that drives our devices, and software that connects our system. These elements are undeniably important drivers of our economic engine. It is true. When we talk about any nation's development, this is essential. Without these all things, any nation cannot be developed as a developed nation. Yet a skyscraper cannot stand on shifting sand. If sand is shifting, our mother land is shifting, the skyscrapers we build by any type of technology cannot withstand in a sand. As we look towards the next 25 years, we must recognize a fundamental force often overlooked in our plan. India's journey to 2047 will not be built only with steel, silicon, and software. But as a Buddhist, I can say that roots, lives, and living ecosystem can be developed a sustainable India in 2047. We must different plants from ornamental nature to critical infrastructures. Through technology, through concrete and steel, we can build a great infrastructures. But you observe that capital expenditure is high. Depreciation over time. With the passage of time, any type of structure you develop with any giant technology can be diminished with the time. Single purpose, block water or any other purpose, it is static. But mechanical infrastructure will develop for 2047 like forests and mangroves. That most effective implementation. Appreciate over time, it grows stronger with the passage of time, it never depreciates. Multifunctional, it can absorb carbon from environment, stabilize the soil. While on another side, you can observe the great infrastructure, it is made for only single purpose. But my clean infrastructure, my political infrastructure is developed or it gives you a multi international opportunity to serve the nations. It is adaptive and self-preparing. While other one is a static and it differs with the message of time. But my botanical structures always adaptive, self-preparing. What we learn, plant dominates ecosystem, regulates regional climate pattern, and stabilize soil in a way that cannot be replicated easily or cheaply by engineered infrastructure alone. What is the utility? Look at that, capturing carbon from environment, my plant moderating ambient temperature to combat urban climate. We know that when season arrives now, summer is arrived, every people who are living in macro cities, day by day, constantly saying that the temperature rise is there. All people are in search of shadows or in search of air conditioned places to hide themselves. Why? My plant combat urban silence. And as well as not only that, it purifies that, filters that, which we bring and purify the water we drink, acting as a natural sanitization utility. This is nature's gift, but plant is give you a natural sanitation utility. My plant gives you a security because when we are moving towards the 2047, we need food security. Securing nutritional health and food system for population exceeding 1 billion. We all know that the population day by day increasing and it is up to 1 billion. Then our plants become a backbone of economy and resilience, supporting rural livelihood and providing the raw materials for emerging bio-based economies. We know that we are facing the problem of urbanization. Why? People moving from rural areas to cities because day by day the economy is depleting. Why depleting? Earlier the production which we yield through our wells, we day by day the production is decreasing, and we try to increase that. We are using chemical fertilizers, and our mother earth can cry by using that type of fertilizers. We have to make a rural livelihood and providing the raw material for emerging bio-based economies. That is done by only and only plant. Can India truly achieve Vision 2047 without ecological security? Can we aspire to be a developed, self-reliant nation while overlooking the very biological system that makes development possible? Look on. This is our economic growth and ecological resilience. We have to reach in 2047 for sustainable development. The answer is increasingly supported by science and policy. It's no. Sustainable development and ecological resilience are not parallel goals. One side is goal development, and another side you are talking about the ecological resilience. They are not parallel goals. They are inseparable. You cannot have the fruits of development without the roots of stability. Stability is most important. How to redefine our botany? What we say? In this context, botany is no longer just about understanding plants. It is about understanding the future architecture of India itself. The plant cannot be taught, or botany cannot be taught in classroom. Botany, even nowadays, becomes a pillar of development of sustainable India in 2047. Climate stress. Everybody feels climate stress. Present reality, not a future theoretical risk. Everybody observing the climate is a stress, rising temperature and drops, and it creates impact on food security and water availability. If you have a no food security, if you have a no water availability, how you can make a Atmanirbhar Bharat? We need that. Another set, intense cyclone and surges are there. It impact observed on coastal stability,
infrastructure damages, erratic rainfall and floods are appears day by day. It impacts public health crisis and economic disruption is taking place. These stresses are persistent and day by day they are intensified, threatening the very foundation of the 2047 roadmap. Therefore, what we have to do? Securing food, water, and economic growth for the next century is essential. Biological system provides a macro regulation for carbon and water cycle. We all know that our forests, grasslands, absorb carbon dioxide, doing carbon sequestration, moderating the global pattern. Our water regulators regulates the rainfall patterns and mitigate the intensity of climatic extremes, while our plant, working as a soil stabilizer, prevents the erosion, maintain agricultural viability. These functions you cannot fulfill by expenditure of lots of money. But what you have to do? These functions serve as a powerful natural sinks and moderators, critical for sustainable or stable economy. If we look towards the coastal vegetation, they act as a self-repairing shield against surges and erosion. Here, the picture is shown that mangroves are working as a living barriers. At the time of tsunami, we all know that the man-made barriers cannot stop the tsunami or not minimize the effect of tsunami. But where there is a mangrove plantation, we observe that tsunami can be stopped or break down, it works as a barrier and reduces the kinetic energy of strong earthquakes. Aromatic plants generally found mostly in coastal regions of Gujarat or our long coastal zone of India. What they are doing? These plants adapted to saline conditions that stabilize coastal soil and protect our settlements. The mangroves of Gujarat and the Sundarbans offer clear evidence that healthy and plant ecosystem can safeguard human settlements. If human settlements not remain persistent, how we can make Atmanirbhar Bharat? The arid zone flora. We are talking in Kutch, and Kutch is a nearby arid or semi-arid zone, and there is a lots of varieties of biodiversity of flora. Provide a genetic blueprint for future food security. Rajasthan and semi-arid region faces extreme heat and drought. The native species, there are not ecological remnants. They are the blueprints for climate smart strategies in warming future. We have to use this flora, which is of a coastal zone or a red zone flora, that adaptive traits which can be a drought tolerant, heat resistance, to reshape our agriculture, our land restoration, and our water conservation programs. Now, this is a newly developed areas in Gujarat, and one of my students is working on urban green space of Porbandar city. What is about the urban vegetation? Nowadays, we build a concrete skyscrapers, and there is no place for plant. Day by day, the houses or societies which are built up, each foot of land is utilized by developers. What is done? Entire area becomes grey city and heat ambient temperature raises. If we plan our city that they provide or a space for plant, then what will happen? The temperature mitigation can be done. Green spaces reduces the ambient temperature and improve air quality. Integrating vegetations in our city planning is non-negotiable for creating livable climate resilient cities by 2047. Our Prime Minister says lots of about the smart city. We have to develop a smart city. We need an approach to integrate plan in a planning of smart city. Without the planning,
Without the participation of plant, smart cities cannot be possible in any part of the India. Green spaces reduces temperature as well as improve the air quality. This is nature-based solutions. Offer superior economic efficiency and stability. If you see this graph, the asset value you observe, you create any kind of concrete infrastructure, day by day with the passing of years, what will happen? Their value, asset value declines. While you plant the trees, plantation is done, botanical infrastructure is developed, then what will happen? With the passage of time, their value or appreciating asset becomes. Coastal effectiveness is the lower capital expenditure than massive hard engineering project. This plant provides you a scalability. Biological systems reproduce and spread efficiently. Simultaneously, our plant-based economy directly correlation to the reduced disaster risk. This is an investment. When we invest anything, we think for a longer period. If you invest in a concrete infrastructure, with the passage of time, its cost declines. While if you invest in a botanical infrastructure, the cost is increasing. This is an investment in sustainable development, not an expansive. Botanical diversity and future of Indian food security. This is a strategic roadmap for transitioning from yield maximization to nutritional resilience. Initially, 1972 onwards, we are putting emphasis on a production, how we can increase the production. Nowadays, we have to transition maximization to the nutritional resilience. Our crop plant provide sufficient nutrition or not, that is most important in 2047. Our population is reaching up to 1.6 billion. This is the population. Security changes when the population exceeds. When population is exceeds, our demands, our security regarding the food is changing. As we look towards Vision India 2047, the demographic reality is not negotiable. Feeding the population of this magnitude requires a fundamental expansion of perspectives. What is limitations? Current model of food security, what we are doing presently, focus heavily on cropping and agriculture productivity, while effective for calorie volumes. Nowadays, we have to focusing on a few major crops. Alone will not sustain 1.6 billion people in a changing climatic scenario of the world. The next horizon of a strategy requires us to look beyond the volume. These are the two phases. We faces two diverging paths to 2047. One pathway is a fragile, and it is a status quo pathway, reliance on familiar staple and monoculture crops. If you focus on producing enough calories to crop, then it is vulnerable to increasing common climatic shocks. This is the one pathway. Another pathway is a resilient future for 2047. Utilization of plant diversity and undisrupted crops. Focus on nutritional adequacy, not a need of volume of production, but our small volume can give us sufficient nutrition. That is very, very important. It is as a functional foods. Systems that are ecologically sound and adapted to volatility is a resilient future. We have a two pathway. On which pathway we have to move, it depends on us. Efficiency has created fragile in our food system, because nowadays we are using major staple foods is a rice and wheat. Greater risk to develop is a climate vulnerable. and 80% people are using such type of staple foods. We are using diverse crop, it's only 20%. Single point of failure is that if we lose that due to climate vulnerable, then our most of population suffer from hunger. Our current security rests on narrow range of familiar staple, while productive uniformity creates a systemic risk. Climate change is introducing conditions that are becoming increasingly common. The drought, salinity problems, and extreme temperatures is a today's reality. What we have to take? What are the consequences of that? The dependency on water-intensive, homogeneous crop in climate-vulnerable regions undermines the very stability we seek to protect. India possesses an unstable reservoir of resilience. These plants are not just food. They are the evolutionary marvels, naturally adapted to drought, salinity, poor soil, and extreme temperatures. Beyond the major staples, India holds an extraordinary range of underutilized crop and wild edibles. Lots of research is carried out. Which type of wild edibles are used by different communities which are living in or nearby the forest? Then what mechanism we have to establish? They have a sustainable local communities for generations, especially because they survive where major crop fails. Why people are commodities are living there? Sometimes the major crop are failed, they have alternatives of variety of crops. And they use that crop when major crop is failed. What is the strategic value of this crop? Integrating these wild varieties or species, and we have to reduce our dependency on water-intensive agriculture. Today, we are using agriculture, lots of water is given to our agriculture crops. We have to develop a technology which minimum use the water and gives you a maximum production. We are winning the caloric wars. From 1972 to till 2025, we talk 26. We have a surplus calorie production. Lots of food material we have, but micronutrient sufficiency is damaged. Our crop, each and every crop cannot provide micronutrients. That is a hidden hunger gap is there. What is misconception about this? Food security is often conflicted with producing enough calories. When you talk about the food security, we talk about the enough calories. However, true security requires nutritional adequacy. Means we need a crop, we need a plant who has a lots of nutrient in it, and therefore biofortification programs are launched to increase that area. What is the crisis? Despite the high production, India continues to face significant challenges related to malnutrition. When in newspaper about the hunger index you observe, in malnutrition, the status of the India or Gujarat you observe, you can find that there is a lots of challenges are there, which is diet related. Health disorders are increasing day by day. A system we have to design with the help of plant solely for it cannot solve the problem of hidden hunger. Therefore, our strategy, people who are making the strategies of India, they have to make these all the points into consideration while establishing any type of strategic development. These are the diverse flora from foundation of functional food. In day by day, we are using our leafy vegetables. They are the dense source of iron, calcium, and bioactive compounds, which are essential for development of youth. We have lots of variety of indigenous food, which are rich in antioxidants and vitamins, which supports long-term immune health. We have a lots of varieties of medicinal plants which provides therapeutic value, bridging the gap between agriculture and medicines. These plants support long-term health rather than merely a preventive measure, specifically among vulnerable populations. We need innovation to validating the wisdom of the past. We have a lots of traditional knowledge which we gain through observation. Nowadays, when science and technology is developed, we have to do modern scientific validation. And again, that knowledge is used for human value. Traditional systems have long recognized the therapeutic value of a diverse plant foods. But unfortunately, many of these species which provide us a food or a medicine, they have been sidelined. The goal is not to reject modern agriculture, but to scientifically validate and integrate the plant-based dietary diversities. Redefine national's wellness by moving beyond curative systems. What is our today's national wellness program? To make any people who is suffering from any type of disease, make them cure. Now what we have to do when we are moving towards the 2047, we have to develop a holistic approach. We have to develop preventive approach and sustainable healthcare model by using plant we have to develop. This is current status. You observe in picture that is curative and reactive status. From this status, we have to move towards 2047, that is preventive and ecosystem centric status of public health we have to develop. Public health discussions traditionally focus on curative system which shown in one picture, that is hospitals, medicines, advanced medical technologies. Why essential? These are the reactive measures, but the health challenges of coming decades demand a preventive approach rooted in healthy ecosystems. As India moves towards Vision 2047, there is a growing realization the health must be rooted in plant-based support systems. Nowadays, lots of people went through allopathy cannot be cured, then they move towards the herbal medicine or naturopathy. This medicinal plant remains the backdrop of modern drug discovery. Plants are not merely historical artifacts of medicines. They are the foundations of pharmaceutical innovations. Any pharmaceutical innovation is take place always pioneer is a plant. Without plant, any pharmaceutical industries cannot flourish because pioneer discovery is taken from plant. They provide the bioactive compounds that continue to inspire and form the basis of modern pharmaceuticals. What we have to do for 2047? Investment in preserving plant biodiversity is essentially invested in the rural development pipeline for future medicines. In the future, we have to develop a variety of medicines. Only synthetic medicine cannot be possible because pharmacy, mostly plant-based medicines are there, and therefore we have to preserve our biodiversity for facing the health-related issues which arises in 2047. The rising burden of lifestyle diseases. Now, in this era, lots of diseases which we cannot fix in past, which cannot be fixed by our older generation, we are fixing today. This is called lifestyle diseases. Across the India, diverse population is there and that requires scalable interventions. What is the solution of these challenges? plant-derived nutraceuticals and functional foods play a critical role in preventive healthcare by strengthening immunity and improving nutritional performance. When we suffer from corona, what if every people is moving towards the increasing that immunity power? And what can you to increase the immunity power? Every people use the vitamin C tablet? No. They move towards the plant base. They are using the dinospora and variety of other plant toxins to increase that immunity. Therefore, the plant-derived nutraceuticals and functional food plays a critical role in preventive healthcare by strengthening our immunity, improving nutritional profiles. These interventions are affordable and accessible, making them particularly relevant for India's demographic scale. These are the basic drugs which provides a lots of useful healthier substances. In fact, you see that curcumin is there, which is working as anti-inflammatory. In violence, there is a vitamin C. In moringa, there is a lots of bioactive compounds which are nutritional, providing nutritional as well as immunity. Urban vegetation is a basic infrastructure for respiratory and mental health. Look what we have to create in 2047. Which type of our cities look like this picture? If we are not developing our cities like this picture, we cannot move in the direction of 2047. What is about the physical health? Urban vegetation improves air quality by absorbing variety of pollutants released through automobile vehicles. These plants, urban vegetations are moderating temperatures. They absorb the noise and reducing the noise. They increase our mental health. What about the mental health? These green spaces which develop in cities, urban areas contribute positively to mental well-being, stress reduction, and overall quality of life. While people who are living in smart cities, they always go for morning walk in the gardens to develop immunity towards the variety of mental diseases to increase their mental health. And if this urban area or urban green spaces we develop, then public health always in them. Again, in dense populated cities, these benefits translate into measurable gains. It reduces respiratory illnesses and improves resilience. IOS, a traditional knowledge, is a scientifically validating traditional knowledge. It creates culturally relevant healthcare model. We all know that the literature picture is that it's the India's traditional literature, rich in tradition, and all these traditions which are rich are plant-based healthcare system. They offer us a valuable insight into a holistic practices. The opportunity lies not in choosing between traditional and science, but integration. It means not only traditional is useful, not only scientifically developed drugs are useful, we have to integrate both in our lifestyle. What is the method? Validating our traditional knowledge with the modern biomedical research and use it. What outcome you can get? A framework of healthcare that is inclusive, effective, and unique, suited to the Indian cultural context. We have to develop healthy ecosystem in 2047. We have to create healthy citizens. Our Prime Minister every time says that our city is our population is a youth population. But when you are or we are working in colleges, we get the students, and any student can run directly 5 kilometers speedily. such type of health is observed, such type of body fitting is observed in youth? No, few are there, but not every youth can run 5 kilometers at a time. What is this? Which type of youth we are developing? Because our food, our shelter, our basic needs, everything is polluted. And therefore, we have to develop 2047. Then what is that? The One Health approach. I see one of the poster is there regarding the One Health approach. When I visit this poster session, some students create One Health approach regarding the health ecosystem, which recognize that you cannot maintain a healthy population within degrading environment. Every environment scientist says that today's environment is a degrading environment. In such type of degrading environment, how we can develop a healthy individual, a healthy society, or healthy population, or our nation builder youth? Therefore, we have to use integration of plant-based solutions, which aligns closely with global One Health mandate, creating a unified defense against future health crises. Human health, ecological health, economical stability, all these three we have to develop. Only economic stability is there, ecological health is not there, human health is not there. How we can build Atmanirbhar power or develop the power? Building a resilient India requires protecting our plant-based foundation. This is the roadmap through which we can move in the direction of 2047. What we have to do? First, protect our diversity. There are the safeguards. The plant diversity that derives a drug discovery. Then, what we have to do next for 2047? Integrate plant. Mandate plant-based solutions and green spaces in urban public health planning programs. Then, validate our traditions. Fund the intersections of Ayush and biomedical researches. If we do this three, protecting diversity, integrate the planning, validate the tradition, then the result is that a healthcare model that is effective, inclusive, and sustainable is made for India. These are the green engines. Plants resource. Look at that. One plant is working as a plant engine. We have to transform our ecological assets into economic resilience. This line is very, very important line. So we have to transform our vision from this our plant-based ecological asset into a economic resilience. Then we can move in the direction of 2047. What we did in past, this is a view. The traditional view is that we do the ecological protection. What we are doing, focusing on preservation of our biodiversity. Nature view as a fragile, isolated from the economy. We only think about the ecological protection and simultaneously we cannot think about our economy, then we cannot sustain in 2047. What we have to develop, see the second. This is the vision of 2047. This is economic resilience. Focus on sustainable utilization. Each and everything which is given by nature art, we have to use it in sustainable way. Nature views as a productive engine. Always view nature as our productive engine. Integrate into the economy. This is our natural beauty, natural scenario, natural product we have to use in sustainable way for economic development. A sustainable future for India requires a dual mandate. Protecting nature and while simultaneously creating livelihood and generating employment from the nature. These are the four pillars of Indian economy. What are the core figures? Well, we have to develop as Atmanirbhar Bharat or a Viksit Bharat, that always first goal is health and wellness. Medicinal plant and nutraceutical development, we have to think about first thing about the health and wellness of our population. Second, we have to provide them energy security, because when development is there, always developing nation needs energy. And therefore, our Prime Minister in 2024, when visit the UNESCO to develop a talk about the carbon credit, and what they say, okay, in 2037, we have to make India net zero carbon country. How it is possible? Can we stop the development of nations by creating industries and infrastructures? No. What we have to do? We have to run both simultaneously. We have to develop industries, simultaneously we have to generate a plant-based economy in which the industry of carbon dioxide is absorbed. It means outcome of carbon dioxide from industries is absorbed income or absorbed by the plant, and then we reach up to the net zero carbon. And that is promised done by our Prime Minister and global cities. And we have to follow pathway of our Prime Minister. The energy security is essential. We have to use biofuels, bioplastics. You know that the fossil fuels are depleting. When fossil fuels are depleting, how we can make a developed India? We have to move our strategies towards the biofuel utilization and bioplastics. We have to use our natural resources sustainably. Our forestry, our agroforestry, and timber use should be done in sustainable way. And then, what is our fourth trunk or fourth pillar? Ecotourism and biodiversity landscape. When we develop or preserve biodiversity, it becomes a place for ecotourism. And through ecotourism, our nation earns lots of currencies. And it is only possible when we create a biodiversity landscape in the areas. Health and wellness. India possesses a wide range of private industries in health sector. Look at that. Pharmaceutical industry shows a growth of 15% or more by using raw material supply for modern medicines. Our traditional system, whether it is Ayurveda or Siddha, at global level, it reaches up to the linkage of 20%, and nutraceuticals rapidly expanding sectors. More than 25% expansion is there. This is economic outcome, high value export. Earlier, we becomes a knowledge provider of Ayurveda. Now, we have to not only know knowledge, becoming a knowledge provider, we have to become a knowledge supplier. And plant-based medicine we have to sell in a different nation. It is a high value export, potential and domestic health security. That's the second pillar. What I said earlier, we have to transit. The challenge is dependence on fossil fuel, synthetic material. We have to move towards a plant-based solution, biofuel and bioplastic. What are the strategic benefits we get if we do this? First of all, reducing import, reliance through domestic production, lowering carbon emission through renewable alternative uses. And this is forestry and agriculture, climate smart production. We have to develop agroforestry. See the picture. It is not only agriculture, it is not only forest. Integrating trees into an agricultural landscape for resilience. And therefore, government starts a carbon credit programs. Any farmer who develops a crop simultaneously develop trees, and then if that trees absorb 1 ton of carbon dioxide from environment, they given a 1 carbon credit. And 1 carbon credits value is just like a share market. Its value is every day fluctuating. Once upon a time, one carbon credit is 13 to 40,000 rupees. 13 to 40,000 rupees. We have to develop timbers from such type of trees, which we develop in agroforestry, which is sustainable wood production for infrastructure development. These agroforestry gives us a soil stability, they are doing carbon sequestration, and simultaneously when we get non-timber forest products, diverse revenue streams beyond logging. These systems balance high yield with ecological health, ensuring soil stability and long-term productivity is generated. This is experience economy. What we have to do? What are our focus area for 2047? Forest landscapes, wetlands, biodiversity rich regions, and we have to convert this area into an economic models. Incentivizing conservation by generating income through this our focus area, through high value ecotourism. Local stakeholders who are living near or inside the forest have a financial reason to protect the asset. Without that, protection or conservation by forest department cannot be possible. These are the grassroots impact. We have to demographic focus. Millions of citizens are there in India, particularly women and tribal communities. These groups depends or rely on a forest or a farm or coastal vegetation for their essential needs. They have to provide all this: food, fuel, medicine, and income. If we integrate these four strategies together, these women which are living in a rural area, their basic need we can fulfill by plant, not by developing concrete infrastructures. What is our strategic imperatives? We have to move forward from short-term exploitation to long-term economic security through managed and accessible. Key to inclusive growth. When you do a sustainable harvesting of a plant, then what you are doing, ensuring the resource base remains intact. Because they are renewable resources. If sustainably they are harvested for human welfare or human populations, then that ensuring you to give again and again. Then this should be local value additions. Any forest product which are derived, they are locally. Processing is done locally, packaging is done locally, branding is done locally, and performed at the source place. Then what is the result if we do this? Then significantly enhance incomes of local communities. Our Prime Minister so many times says that we have to double the income of farmers in 2047. If we do this integrative approach, surely in a 2047 we can do or we can achieve the goal of doubling the economy of farmers. This approach preserves ecological balance while maximizing the capture of economic value at village level. And if we do this at village level, then village people cannot migrate from village to urban area. We are not providing all these facilities to rural area, therefore people are migrating from rural to the urban areas and creates lots of problems in urban areas. Atmanirbhar Bharat, or you can say self-resilience through our nature. What are our core alignment? The plant-centered model directly supports the vision of self-reliant India. What are the formula? If we do this, indigenous biological knowledge we have to use. We have to use local knowledge systems. And domestic value chain we have to establish. When any farmers go to the APMC, then what price they are getting? We have to establish a chain where the production is take place, same places people arrive and buy the crop, and entire chain is established for sustaining development. India has a unique opportunity to position itself as a global leader in plant-based innovation as market shifted towards sustainable products. This is integrated value chain. What we have to do? Forests and farms use as a source. Second step, sustainable harvesting and local processing is done. That the value is added to the source. Step 3, industries and manufacturing, biorefining is done at local level, and that from local to global, or from local we have to reach up to the global level by establishing this chain, which is up to the global market, establish export and consumption. This is a connected ecology with economy, which will require viewing these steps as one complete, unbreakable chain we have to establish. What is the to achieve Vision India 2047? We must pivot from green plant solely as a conservation object to managing that. Not only conservation aspect, so we have to only conserve biodiversity or conserve the plant. What we have to do? We have to manage them as a high yield economic asset. When value addition is done to the plant, always it becomes high yield economic assets. And this is the trend. Industrial self, social impact is there, and lesser security is available. This our trend moves towards the direction 2047. What we have to do? We have to leverage pharma energy and timber sector for our GDP growth. And what is social impact there are? We are securing livelihoods for rural, coastal, and tribal demographic through value-added processing. And then we achieve Atmanirbhar Bharat or self-reliant India through indigenous resource management. Plants are component of the system that sustains civilization. Food security only obtained through a plant. Resilience in agriculture, public health, medicinal resources, and environmental health can be maintained through plant. We have to develop urban planning. Earlier, when any society is planned, what the person says or engineer says, you have to cut this open area. Not nowadays only open area. We have to develop rules and regulations. Okay, if this size house you develop, you have to plant minimum this number of trees in your house or in your societies. This is a need of 2047. Urban planning is done, required green infrastructure development, city which becomes resilient, then livelihood is possible, economic stability through bioresources. A systemic perspective, it equips young scientists which are sitting over here to communicate effectively beyond academic boundaries. These are the big problems. You can observe here. And a botanist who develop a cooperative webs. Botanists also have to work as economists to value ecosystem services. A botanist has to work as a social scientist to understand communicate options. A botanist has to understand engineers to build green infrastructures. A botanist who are making their career in botany, they have to make a policy makers to draft enforceable frameworks. These collaboration expand the relevance of plant science beyond our traditional boundaries. Earlier, what we say, plant scientists, they goes to the field, identify the plant, learn the anatomy, and say plants are only useful in environmental cleaning. This is not an era. Now a botanist has to become an economist, a botanist has to become a social scientist, a botanist has to become an engineer, a botanist to become a policy maker. If we have to make Atmanirbhar Bharat. Botany is no longer a descriptive science. What we say? Even my father says that botany is nothing but an art of science. But nowadays, I can say botany is no longer a descriptive science. It is a strategic science. It lies at the heart of climate action. Any type of climate action strategies you have to develop with the help of botany. Any type of food system or food security you have to develop, you need the botanist or botany. Any healthcare system which developed through pharmacies can sustain in an era of corona. Only Irish medicine can survive the peoples, and therefore healthcare system is dependent on plant. And now we have to earn through plant. We have to develop a green economy for sustainable world or sustainable India. We have to become a skill-based training is essential. New competence open pathways to emerging economic sectors. What botanists can do for Vision 2047? Botanists can do the climate consultancy, advising on mitigation and adaptations. They have to develop bio-based industries, driving the new green economy. A botanist skill-based training of botany can develop environmental governance, shaping the policy, developing the various type of regulations, and skill-based botanists can develop sustainable entrepreneurship, creating value from ecological knowledge. This is skill-based training is the key that unlock these specific high-growth domains. Therefore, I say that the plants are living architectures. Plants as a critical sustainability infrastructures. This is the pathway to net carbon neutrality and India at 2047. Plants are not just decorative elements. What people using nowadays plant, if you buy a house, you are thinking that we have to decorate or we have to develop the plant which gives a beauty to my house. Not at all. Plants are not just decorative elements. They are infrastructural assets that regulate air, water, soil, climate, and even health. In a macro context, India's green imperatives. If you look today in India, how much surface area is covered by green plants? Today is 25.17%. And what is the target of government or our policy makers' policy? In 2047, our target for current green space to reach 37 to 40%. Why this urgency is that? Because our Prime Minister says we have to reach up to the net carbon neutrality. India requires a massive scaling of natural carbon sequestration to counter climate warmings. 10 billion people, 10 trees concept goal is there. 10 billion trees concept goal. A proposal to plant 10 billion trees in urban and rural areas, acting as a primary national carbon sink. This is the bridging gap, 25% to 37 to 40%. Between 25 and 40% is not an aesthetic choice. It is a national survival strategy. नेशन में बचाव बोलते तो आगे पावर फुलफिल करवो बोलते 2047 સુધી. I could give you a one case study of Subhash Bose Park in Kochi. It is located in Kochi, Kerala. 339 meters tree are planted in that area. What is the output? Air filtration, standing cooling, and what is the health benefit is obtained from such number of mature trees? 3.74 lakh annual healthcare saving via pollution reduction. And the people who are living in nearby this area, they minimize the use of air conditioning. And minimize the use of air conditioning, they save energy. Annual electricity saved in this Subhash Bose Park nearby building is 13,400 kilowatts. If you combine this, then significant reduction in street flooding at a coast. This is nature-based solution. Are physically responsible. Data proves that green cover act as a cost prevention mechanism for public health and energy grids. This is another case study. Miyawaki model developing Kharghar in urban micro-density area. 5,000 plants are planted in 2 hectares of urban land. What they do? High density carbon sink. They are working as a high density carbon sink, and microclimate cool zone is developed nearby. And this is another case study of macro restoration in a Gurgaon. They develop a Aravali biodiversity park, develop of a 392 acres land. What they do? Restore this semi-arid ecosystem. Revitalization of natural vegetation, native vegetation, and wildlife habitat. From microforest woven into a city grid to the restoration of degraded landscapes, ecological architectures adapt to spatial context. What methodology have to develop? This is a methodology developed in Jaipur urban area. Jaipur lost nearby 2% green cover due to urbanization. And due to loss of such green cover, what is the impact is observed in Jaipur? Nearby 1.8%, 1 degree centigrade rise in surface temperature is taking place. Due to this is the city grid is given, then urban heat island data is given, which increases 1.8 degree centigrade. And when green sustainability model is established, then Jaipur again slowly moving towards the green city. Shift from random planting to strategic interventions. Identify priority areas based on heat and density data. Plant must be included in the design blueprint of city with the same rigor applied to road and buildings. When any city is developed, always policymakers focus on development of road, development of buildings. Now they have to think integration of plant in designing blueprint of cities. It is a need of 2047. This is our old standard conservation. Now we have to move towards new standard. Old standard only related with conservation. Now, not only conservation, we are moving towards regeneration. What you have to do? India 2047 for sustainable development. We have to develop urban planning is essential. It's one of the pillar of 2047. Agriculture development is required. Infrastructure development is there, climate action is taken, and these all are ecological regenerations. One make sure people tree releases enough oxygen to support 50 people daily. This is the data says that if one make sure people tree is planted, then reduce oxygen demand of fulfill the oxygen demand of 50 people daily. If every Indian plants a 10 trees, we add a 1.4 billion trees. By 2047, ecological assets will be as vital to the national development as concrete infrastructure. When we talk about the development, always we think about the huge dam, huge road, huge multi-concrete buildings. No. If nation has to develop, then our ecological asset will be vital to national development as concrete infrastructure. What we can say, India leads globally by demonstrating a new model of development where progress does not come at the cost of nature. That initially this statement is said by late Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, कि विनाश वगर नो विकास. And this is in another word, कि India leads globally by demonstrating a new model of development where progress does not come at the cost of nature. We have to make a progress, but at not the cost of nature, but through partnership with the nature. A green card in India in 2047 is not an idealistic vision, it is an achievable goal for all the scientists of today's era. The 2014 horizons, what we say, self-reliant India, by fully harnessing its botanical wealth through the strategic outline in this decades. India will secure its future. We are building a nation that is not just surviving climate change, but through bio-innovations. Botany is the science of our survival. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you so much, sir, for such a wonderful, enlightening session where you covered all the aspects of the moon sciences, how its wise use will lead to sustainability and development. May I now request our chairperson of the session, Dr. Manish Oja sir, to felicitate our eminent speaker, Dr. Bhupendra Singh Chareja. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And now we would all proceed for lunch, and the next session will start after 1 hour. Thank you, everyone.